This is Gerald Uavalas. After watching a small clip from Taka Nihongo Dojo on Facebook, his Facebook page, explaining that there are three different meanings of the Japanese word atsui, I was a bit intrigued because my theory says that every letter combination is a very specific focus. And you can't stretch it too hard, but you can stretch it to such a degree that you can give things a slightly different context, a slightly different focus. And it would be very interesting to investigate like a word like this, to see like, yeah, but how far can we stretch these positions, and what does that do to our experience? And I will have an explanation of these three words. The first one, the first character that you have there, is associated with hot, more like when it's touched, when it's touched on a surface or something, so it is quite hot. But you can also use it metaphorically, that it also means passionate or zealous. The other word, that's how it has been described when I looked it up. That's very literally what I looked up. The other word has a different character, and it means hot conditions more. So it's more like, it's not a direct confrontation, it's the hot conditions in general. So with weather, or even at the same time with a physical touch. And the other word, which is very far away, seems to be very far away, is more in the sense of thick or dense or even profound. And okay, let's investigate how the letter combinations form a certain focus and where these three characters fit in. So when I will use my theory for it, so that you can recognize immediately how it has been built up, I have the theory and the right there. You can also realize what it is and what it is expressing. You can almost read it from the scheme what the position is and what the position should be about. And the first two letters together as at is actually quite clear that it's always about the kind of localizing a certain physical condition or its physical condition, which is a very good foundation actually already for understanding these three words. The next letter, the S, is more or less the reference focus that actually says, yeah, but okay, we localize here this physical condition in at, but how far can we still sense it? Until where can we sense it? These are the borders that also give us a certain feedback from there. And that's the letter S, which is mostly presented is as that open form at the outer borders. It gives also a description of the range, and it will describe the range until where we can sense something. And combined with the U as the next letter, it also says, yeah, but how far can I also fill it in, or with how many parts, or in how many levels, or to what degree, or how much can I fill it in, things like that, things that I can work with, things that I can start to work with, things that I can start to experience after S as well. Combined with E, it says also I have new elements that come in. So the extra elements will give it an extra focus. So how much is it filled in with new elements? That's more or less the translation of it, and that's how you can also sense it from here. So we localize a physical condition, we sense how much this can be sensed and how much it can be, how much this is also filled in with new elements that fits in there into these conditions. The E is also expressed with the vertical push towards us, but also the S was already a push towards it, because this was a confrontation, and it also senses, yeah, but how much is this really effective? The E always is that positive response that it says, yeah, but with a certain selection, I can understand also what I'm experiencing here. I can define it as something new, and that new fits in, and it dictates what are the new elements, and it is the focus upon especially these new elements. So in total we almost have all the meanings, the underlying meanings of these three words with this foundation where we notice something that it starts from a physical surface sensing of it with an effect which grows into new conditions. And I think the best thing to experience is like, yeah, with a hand, you just sense it, you feel it, and you have this experience also from near to a distance. And I will say near up until a distance, because it is as if you have also these 3 degrees. So the atsui in this character means thick or dense or even profound. That is very much focusing upon the qualities of the surface itself. You can make a realization of the character because it has this center focus. It is the directing towards the center focus, and then the extra letter underneath is like a focus upon which value does this really have, which value does the surface has. The value of the surface itself is thick or dense, or it is like, yeah, that's the kind of thing that is or will lead eventually to something that you can sense differently. Once you take a distance, its distance is not there yet. It's the direct object focus, the center focus, as you can see in the character. And so that is what we sense in that first center. And the range of it is, of course, that the other character, as you can already see in the character, it has one center beneath, but it also has that upper center in the heavens. So you check it out in the conditions, in the surrounding conditions that are related to each other. You can almost read it in the sign in the character. So it is not what is there in that center as a reference point, because that's actually not more than it is. So that thick or dense is like that reference point. Is that experience in the distance, in the heavens, so away from the center, in the heavens. How do I sense it? I sense it from the surface. I sense something from a distance, so I focus upon more qualities than that from that distance, because they grow. They are at this from the center. These are the generalizing conditions. Now in this case there are more conditions, and it's more or less like these hot conditions what you have like this. So you have this distance, you take a distance, and you sense the hot conditions, and you sense the hot conditions also from the environment. Actually, when you sense it very directly, it is then it's more like a reaction to it. That's the third version of the word, and you can see it in the third character. You see underneath already this character which refers to water in its top degree. So in it as it is steam or hot as a reaction. You can also sense this part of character. You can also see it in the association with the character of the heart. So you sense it, you react to it, you immediately react to it. It's water in at its maximized conditions. So in that way, it's also hot. So it's hot as a direct after effect. So what do you have actually then in total? You have that centralized effect that it just says, okay, I look for a condition which just only at that place itself. So you almost just only that being thick, being dense, being heavily profound, directly from the source, directly referring to the source as how you can use it. And in a way, actually, all these words, they are starting from the same point, but they take different distances. These distances, which or different senses also, how you can read them in the signs. But if you think about like every character in the Chinese and also the Japanese script, they are about balance. And what I recognize here is actually a focus, as if you see the same focus, not just with a little bit differences in distances, and also at one point I have it at the starting point. I even take it as an abstract position and not much more. It is as if I sense it from different senses, in an abstract way, in a rational way. I just use it as an object, as a physical object, as if it's related with the earth, close to the surface. And what do I see at the surface? I just look at it with my objectivity, with my rationality, what I can use from it, just one quality, and that's it, without the sensing. From a distance, you have the second element, not the earth, but you have the air. So I'm going towards the heavens, towards the air. I'm talking about the same thing that I'm watching there, with the same sounds, the same letters, and I'm watching it from a distance. I experience it from a distance. I also could have this as a rational focus as well. It's from the air. The last or the third category is like it's a complete balance. So you have the earth, you have the air. The last one are the results of the source and the effect, and its after effect all at the same time. It's like it's water with fire combined, and you create steam. In the last character, the character is also into different positions. The second character on top is already a reference to, okay, something extra comes out. This is about the extras that you that come out. What is the extra that you immediately notice? It's that character of steam or of heated up water. That's the direct effect. What you immediately have if you have the whole picture. Another I think as well is quite interesting, that to realize there are three versions of the same sound combination or letter combination in a language, which very much have a quite enlarged range of emphasis on that same focus. The combination of letters is the same, but they also fit to the focuses in balance with the four elements, in which the one or another element, or here a combined element as well, give separate visions, and which I think is also interesting to notice. Anyhow, who inspired me to investigate that word? That was this fellow on Facebook, Taka Nihongo Dojo is his website, and his page called, where you can follow actually words, and they are quite well expressed and nicely expressed, that you can really have an image what are the differences between the different words, and that gives you a very good learning opportunity to see the actual words, how it is expressed and where they occur and so on. So thank you for this reference point that made me investigate from my theory then how letter combinations come to different emphases on same structural foundation. And I hope you enjoyed this one as well, and anyhow I hope you come back and watch some other videos as well. There are some books that prepared me to create the idea that sounds and letters really direct into a certain logic, and I followed a couple of logics as well. I also followed what happened in the past and looked up what happened in the past, how they tried to yeah, find out how letters and words came to existence in the first place, and that's also all written down in those books. There's also a Facebook page, there's a website where you can have previous recorded videos and words that I demonstrated before, and you can look them up again. And yeah, if you don't really know anymore, like how shall I focus upon a certain letter, how can I understand a certain letter better, they are alphabetically, so that gives you an opportunity to learn those you know, combining words with certain letters better. Okay, anyhow, thanks for watching and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.